house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes, the house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. I've been practicing this a little bit. Did I rush you? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Big Easy Bets podcast. I'm your host, Logan, and with me in the studio, Nick VonBrick.
Hello.
With us on the ones and twos, Joseph Ascani.
What up?
This is episode 181. We are on the conference championship weekend. We are going to recap the divisional round, talk about a couple things that happened since we last recorded, and then give you our best bets for each game this coming weekend. Again, episode 181, hit subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, wherever you listen, and hit the subscribe button. We would appreciate it. Couple things to get into. A good week for 2 out of 3 of us. That's why I said we don't typically stack bad weeks in a row. Y'all were in the green. I was not. We'll get to that. Couple things that have happened since then. You saw Harbaugh. Harbaugh might be going to the Chargers. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I know there's like a bunch of stuff going on with Michigan and everything.
Well, he made it sound like he wasn't going anywhere. And now he might be just at the first opportunity might be bouncing.
I think there's some, I guess, fear that he could be disciplined or something like that.
I'd imagine he probably would be. Yeah, if he's going to leave, I think he's definitely leaving because there's discipline on the horizon. I feel like the Chargers are definitely an enticing job. You've got young talent. You've got L.A. You've got the quarterback. I mean, they've got guys on the defensive side of the ball, Bosa, Derwin James, to name a few. Khalil Mack was with them this year, right?
Yeah.
And played, like, spectacular. I always think it's funny when they're like, I'm not going anywhere. And then, I mean, it's been, like, not even a month, and he's about to go to L.A.
Yeah.
I get it. You're not going to be, like, hoisting the trophy, being like, I'm out of here. Like, I'm leaving. But he definitely made it seem like he was not going to go anywhere. I think there was a report that he needed, like, basically a guarantee that no matter what happened suspension-wise from Michigan, that, like, he was good to go.
Yeah, he wants immunity.
Yeah, which is, I mean, he did just bring you all a championship. When's the last time Michigan won a championship? So I'd give him immunity if I was the athletic director or whoever. What else? Bill Vinovich is going to be the head referee of Super Bowl. What Super Bowl is this coming up? 40 what? 50-something?
Yeah, 57 maybe.
Is it 57? Well, we were 44.
It might be 58.
We were 44 back in, did they count it as 09 or 2010?
It was 2010.
Well, I know that's when we, but did
14 more.
So 58.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. Bill Vinovich is going to be the head referee of Super Bowl 58. I tweeted about it today where I said Brad Allen and his crew fucked up, and then they pulled him from the playoffs. Bill Vinovich had the worst missed call in the history of the National Football League, and he's reffing Super Bowls.
Yeah.
You get rewarded by reffing Super Bowls when you do your job as asked. That tells you all you need to know. He did what the NFL wanted him to do, which was absolutely shaft the entire city of New Orleans, and in turn, he's now getting to ref Super Bowl 58. Something doesn't seem right there. I don't know. Especially in the day and age where now everybody bitches about officiating.
Yeah.
But nobody cared back then. But Bill Vinovich is still out reffing the biggest games. Going to his third Super Bowl, getting rewarded for doing a good job in the NFL's eyes. So I felt like that. I mean, that told me all I needed to know. How is he fucking reffing a Super Bowl?
How's he still reffing at all?
At all, yeah. That's a good question. You know, I think they said he's never reffed a Saints game.
They shouldn't let him ref Pop Warner.
No, I mean, it was clear what they were doing. He did what was asked of him, but I think that's funny that, like, his crew never has come back to ref a Saints game.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I thought it was it's just kind of a slap in the face, to be honest, but what can you do? You saw the Caitlin Clark flop.
Yeah.
Do you think it was a flop?
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Flop.
It is.
It's disgraceful.
It's a flop.
I saw her in the airport when we were coming back from our honeymoon. Just randomly, just walking through. Nobody even noticed her. As I told you, I spot everybody. She's just a regular looking girl. She was in like a jumpsuit, like Nike sweats. I was like, oh, that's like the best female college girls basketball player. Just walking through. I guaranteed I would have fucking locked her up. She was small as shit. Yeah, they got upset by nobody watches, but they got upset by Ohio State allegedly. And she's running off the court and definitely sold it. She did a double twirl. Like she did a like
Yeah, and she's like the one that initiated the contact.
Yeah. Yeah, she's definitely mad. You just got upset. You're running and then you see this fucking nerd running in your path, so you're like, God damn it. She took out a little aggression, but then midway she was like, oh shit, I can't do that. Like they're gonna all she's like, all right, I got a spin zone, double spin zone. And I mean, dude, she did like a pirouette. It was like she went across the middle and got hit by a linebacker. So, and immediately everybody was like, flop. Like everybody sniffed it out right away. You can't fool the internet. And she's like, at the post-game press conference, like, I could have really been injured. I was just trying to get off the court. That's why I was trying to run and get out of there quick. It's like, don't fish for sympathy now. You know what you did. I would have owned it and been like, yeah, I fucking flopped. Like I tried to push her and I was like, I can't push her. So just go out and call a spade a spade. No, I thought that was interesting though. Let's see. All right. Oh, dude. Yeah. I did it again. What day were the games? Saturday? Saturday. I did it again. Starbucks is doing a buy one, get one free past noon. And I didn't know that. So I'm ordering a 30-ounce coffee, and Lindsay's like, you get one free past noon. So I was like, okay, whatever. So she ordered it online. I went to go pick it up. So I got two. Well, I drank both of them in less than 2 hours. And it was not good. I did like that March Madness thing where I don't know how much I drank that day, but I didn't feel that as bad as that day, but my heart was like going fucking crazy. I was wired. And when you look up, like you're supposed to have like 400, milligrams of caffeine throughout the day. That's like the max by the FDA, which they're going to lowball it a little bit. But the one at Starbucks, it's like 350. So I had two of them. So I had 700. So I was like, in like 2 hours too. So like back to back. Because I was drinking it. The Ravens were winning. And then I just slammed the other one too. I was like, oh, big mistake. Big mistake. I was literally on the computer. And I looked at the clock. I was like, oh, it's 3 a.m. I didn't even I zoned out and then checked back. And I'm like, oh, it's 3. I wasn't tired at all. But my heart was going through the roof. I was like, I was struggling for sure. It was way too much. I didn't know that you can drink too much.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Well, you claim you drink a ton of caffeine.
Yeah. I don't ever have any.
Yeah, but how much?
Like 1,000 milligrams a day.
I don't buy it.
A pre-workout has 300 in it.
Yeah, but okay. So what else are you drinking?
Like 2 energy drinks that have like 300 in them as well.
And you drink them, yeah, but throughout the whole day though.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I drank 700 in less than 2 hours. How much does your pre-workout have?
300.
Okay. So you're probably staggering these throughout the day.
Yeah. I mean, I'll drink my pre-workout right before I work out, and then when I get to work, I'll drink another 300.
Before you work out in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a lot. I don't understand. How do you not feel bad?
You just do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess,
Some
but no,
people-
they do say though, if you work out though, you kind of one of the things they say if you drink too much caffeine is go for a walk. Go kind of work, literally work it out. So, I mean, that makes sense. I was doing nothing.
Yeah.
I was sitting in front of the fucking TV doing nothing and pounded fucking 2 30-ounce coffees. I mean, it wasn't as bad as that March Madness time. I tried to make myself throw up that day. Remember we went to Sticks.
Yeah.
We went and ate at Sticks because March Madness is my favorite time of the year. So I filled up, I don't even know what, a 64-ounce It might even been bigger. It was a giant thermos. I filled it to the top unintentionally and didn't have room for the cream. So I drank a ton of it to make room for the cream, then put it in, put more coffee back in. So I drank like a quarter of it right off the bat and then filled it back up, drank the whole thing. We go to Sticks, losing every fucking bet I had that day. And I was like, I got to go home. Like, I don't feel good. I remember. And I had I didn't eat Sticks for the longest time because I was like, I have to make myself throw up or something. Something's wrong. And couldn't do it and just had like the worst old barbecue taste in my mouth. It was a terrible day. And like I don't know, dude. I felt like I had like the flu almost. I don't know how much I drank that day, but it was a lot. It was a lot. In like the span of literally an hour. But yeah, Starbucks should put a disclaimer on the buy one, get one free. Why are we giving out free 30-ounce? I mean, I guess it's intended to like, here, give one to somebody else.
Yeah.
Both of y'all go. But yeah, so that was tough. So, all right, we'll get into the recap. Again, hit the subscribe button. Game 1. The AFC divisional round, Texans and Ravens. I was on the Ravens -9. You were on the under 44.5. And then you were on the first half, Texans +5.5. Triple winner. So we started off really, really well. You had to feel pretty fortunate because I don't even know his name.
Punt return, Steven Sims.
And they like never give up punt returns.
Yeah.
That's like Harbaugh's calling card.
Mine was lucky for sure because their defense is playing good.
I mean, a win's a win, but I was thinking about it and like when I bet the Ravens, I felt like they could give CJ Stroud trouble. I wasn't so much of betting the Ravens. Like, I think that they're going to light up the scoreboard. I figured they would score, but it was more of a bet. Like, I think we're going to see CJ Stroud struggle a little bit against a much better Ravens defense than well, the Browns are good defense. Don't get me wrong, but going on the road and all of that.
I took, I didn't take home field serious enough.
Oh, it plays a huge role because they had so many false starts.
Loud, and they were struggling. It showed on the offensive line big time.
Yeah, no, they had multiple. I think it was like 7 pre-snap penalties.
Yeah,
and it does play a huge role because obviously just fucking literally trying to tell everybody else the play in the huddle, like in the dome in its heyday.
Well, I think even more important is trying to get in a rhythm.
Yeah.
You do get a couple of plays, and then you have 2 penalties back to back. It completely ruins drives.
Oh yeah, I mean if you pick up 5 yards on first down, and you're ahead of schedule.
Yeah,
and you're on pace to move the chains there. False start now. It's 2nd and 10. It's like you gain nothing. So
right.
I mean they had 2 in a row at one point where it was like, okay, just punt it at that point. But yeah, it was. Texans didn't score an offensive touchdown. This is not people. I don't know. Do people on the internet are so ridiculous where they're like, maybe CJ Stroud's not that good. It's like, no, maybe CJ Stroud's a fucking rookie.
Maybe Baltimore's defense is just that good.
Yeah, maybe CJ Stroud's a rookie and he's on the road in the playoffs after he already beat the Browns. Now you're on the road playing the outright number 1 seed in the NFL.
Right.
CJ Stroud's very good. He's going to be very good for a long, long time. Here, I got a question for both. Well, I think I already know your answer, but I got a question for you. Would you take, at this very moment, CJ Stroud or Patrick Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes.
Would you really?
Yeah.
CJ Stroud on the rookie deal? You paying Patrick Mahomes $1 billion? No, they're going to pay CJ Stroud, but
yeah.
You wouldn't even like bat an eye at it?
No.
Dude, I don't know. CJ Stroud's fucking good. That's crazy. You get him for 5 years on a rookie deal.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I don't know. You're saying it like it's no argument at all. Like
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Who would you take?
As far as
if you're starting a franchise right now,
starting a franchise, Mahomes. Right now, I truly do believe Stroud can get there to where Mahomes is.
You told me the other day. You said you thought Stroud was elite currently.
Yeah, I know. Amongst the quarterbacks in the NFL, yeah, I think he's elite. But
top what?
Top 5.
If you think he's top 5.
Well, because I think Mahomes is proven number one every single year.
He
And I think he's got
he
a lot of years
unquestionably
left.
is, but you're paying him $1 billion.
Yeah, you're paying her a shit ton. That's for sure.
So you're getting
And
another.
that's why I'm not a GM though, because I suck at the in and outs with the money and the.
Well, like if he gets hurt, you're still on the hook
Is
for.
that why you're not a GM? That was funny.
Yeah,
That's why I'm not a GM.
I
Because
don't have the experience, obviously.
But yeah, I mean, if Mahomes gets hurt, you're still on the
Well, you're
hook
in
for
the
a
hole.
fuckload of money. Like when you take into account yes, I'm not saying CJ Stroud is better than Patrick Mahomes, but when you take in the contract situation, they're getting him for a bargain for what he's delivered already in the first year, a playoff win when you picked second in the draft. I mean, I don't know. Mahomes is undoubtedly, without question, the best quarterback in football. Probably the best quarterback of all time. Like, I understand what Tom Brady's done and this and that, and it's still early. But just overall ability, yeah, no, it's not a Mahomes isn't that good, but CJ Stroud's pretty fucking good too, and you get the rookie deal. So it's kind of like Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow came in, his first season went to I'm biased, so I would probably take Joe Burrow over Patrick Mahomes just because I like him more. But like how much of a drop off do you feel like it is from Mahomes to Burrow?
Not that big.
Okay. And I'm not saying it's the same drop off to Stroud. It's more of a drop off. But when you take into account that you're paying him $500 million, like,
Yeah, but I don't think that's like that big of a problem when like you have that guy. He's gonna end up being the best ever.
yeah, but also too, they're kind of
And
pay-
he's got plenty of years left.
But look at like their cap situation and all that. That's why they don't really have that many weapons around him. Not top tier weapons, at least. Mahomes does the thing where he makes people look better than they are, like Drew did for a long time. He threw to Devery Henderson. He threw to Robert Meacham, Lance Moore. So the good quarterbacks do that, like Tom Brady throwing to Wes Welker, Julian Edelman. I understand he had Randy Moss that one year, but Deion Branch, who was pretty good. But so the best quarterbacks make the wide receivers look better than they are. But you have way more room to navigate the cap with the Texans because you have the quarterback. That's why the taking the rookie in the first round, getting the extra year.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, they're going to have to pay Mahomes again soon. Or they already extended him, didn't they?
I thought his contract was for like 10 years.
No, I know, but didn't they extend him because everybody else, like he set the market, so you always pay the price when you set the market.
Mm-hmm.
You get screwed. He set the market, so then now everybody else comes in above him. He was like the 6th highest paid quarterback. Let me see. Like they're going to, okay, in 2020, Mahomes agreed to a 10-year, $450 million extension with the Chiefs that put him under contract through 2031. All it's going to take is, like, who's next in line to be paid? Lamar got paid, right?
Yeah.
So Lamar, Burrow, Herbert, Hurts, did he get paid?
No, not yet.
All it's going to take is for somebody else to come and become the new highest paid quarterback where they're going to be if I'm Mahomes,
I don't know. I think Hurts got a deal
Let me see.
because he was same draft class. as
Yeah, he
Burrow.
did. 5-year, $255 million.
That's what you got to pay your quarterback, $50 million a year at least.
Yeah. Well, I remember when Drew was getting $50 million a year. It was like around it, something crazy like that. But that was like before, and everybody was like, "Why doesn't he take a pay cut?" Like, I don't know. I feel like if you're Mahomes, let's put it this way: if they go win the Super Bowl this year, you go walk in and you'd be like, "We're gonna need to work out something else here." Like, I think he's the 5th highest paid quarterback, maybe even worse. I mean, he's got an argument to say I want more money. So I don't know. I think I think there's people out there that would say they'll take Stroud just from the standpoint of try to build around him and try to build up the whole team. Because I think, like I said, I mean, you do see it. Mahomes is good enough, obviously, to beat the Dolphins, to beat the Bills, and then we'll see what happens this week with the Ravens with aging talent and Travis Kelce and subpar talent on the outside. I mean, fucking Rashee Rice is their best receiver,
Mm-hmm.
and he's a rookie. So, but yeah, anyway, Ravens win 34-10. It was definitely a tale of two halves. It was 10-10 at half, and then, I mean, when you don't score an offensive touchdown, it's going to be tough to hang in the game. A 17-point fourth quarter from the Ravens, though. Second game was the Packers and the Niners. You did your double team total over. I was on the Niners minus 9.5. What were you on, Joseph? Niners?
Yeah.
Brock Purdy cannot play in the fucking rain.
Yeah.
What was that?
I think it goes back earlier to the year with them when they're not without Debo, they kind of struggle.
Yes. And then, well, they lost that game against the Browns in the rain, too.
Yeah.
He can't play in the rain. I don't understand it. And he started with the glove, and then he took the glove off. Like, how do you not know what you
whenever
want?
you're starting to switch, you got issues.
Yeah, but how do you not know? How do you not know, like, when it rains, I play with a glove.
Mm-hmm.
When it doesn't rain, I'm no glove. Like, how are you going out there with a glove and then going like, fuck, I can't grip the ball? You should know that. He didn't look good at all. I'll give him credit. He went down and had the game-winning drive when he needed to have it. But if the Packers can catch, he throws a pick six in this one. They're not even in the position that they're in. I mean, do you think, is it hit the panic button on the Niners?
I don't think so.
So what do you think it was? Just a
Bad game, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, pretty much the same. I don't think it's panic button. I still think Purdy's good, but like Nick said, I just think it's a bad game.
I think if you have, essentially Jordan Love's a rookie. It's his first full season. It's like Mahomes. He did that 1 year under Alex Smith, and then he came in first full season and obviously won the Super Bowl. But if you have an experienced quarterback, the Packers win this game. Love imploded down the stretch. 0 points in the fourth quarter. Imploded down the stretch, though. That last interception was so bad. Right when he threw it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, me and Joseph are on the Niners minus 9.5. And Dre Greenlaw was like, fuck this. Dude, everybody in the stadium was like, go down, go down. His teammates were like in front of him, like getting in his fucking way. But he intercepted one earlier in the game.
Yeah, he had two.
And he was running backwards and shit, like when he didn't even need to. He's I'm like, go! And then he's like reversing field. No, it was like unimpeded. He's like, fuck it. Turned around, went back the other way. So when he got the ball, he was like, I'm trying to fucking do something. That's why I say he's got a family member or a cousin. He's got a cousin, somebody who had probably the over and the spread. And he's like, I gotta put on. I wish he would have took it to the house, but it would have cost you. No, that would have hit it for you. That would have hit your team total over for the Niners.
Yeah.
So we all needed that. I respected the effort, though. That's what I said. I texted. I was like, he had fucking 6 on his mind, so he was not about to go down, and he would have needed to break like 17 tackles, and by the time he reversed field, he would have ran like 350 yards. So I never would have happened, but I respect that he gave it a good shot. Niners dodge a bullet. 24-21 win. The Carlson kid, who's the other there's like a whole line of Carlsons.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the Mannings of the kickers. He fucking sucks. When your head coach is saying, I pray to God when he goes out there, that does not instill confidence at all. And for them to like get it to he told the broadcast guys, like for them to know that, so he doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, I just hope. I really do. He's like, basically he and the kicker are hoping the same. But yeah, so the Niners squeak on by. So we go to Sunday, the Bucks and the Lions. This one was frustrating because we were both on the Bucks plus 6.5. What were you on?
Over.
Did it hit?
Yeah.
Okay. This one came down to a 2-point conversion. And I haven't had little to no luck on 2-point conversions this year. I really haven't. There was one that I can remember where I needed them to not get it and they didn't get it. But outside of that, I'm like 1 out of 10 on I either need them to get it or not get the 2-point conversion. It has not gone my way. So that is disappointing. But I was texting you. I was like, maybe they go for 2, depending on how they feel about analytics, because we were down multiple scores. So that's the big question that's going around. If you're the Buccaneers, do you go for 2? Not obviously we had plus 6.5, so we wanted them to go for 2. But if you had no bias, do you go for 2 in that situation?
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean?
The analytics say to do it.
What do you do, though?
I don't know how much the analytics are factoring in what happens if you don't get it.
Well, I think they're fat. What do you mean? If you don't get it,
Because like the whole argument is that if you kick 2 at like you're down 14, if you score 2 touchdowns, kick 2 extra points, you go to overtime, you have a 50% chance to win. If you go for 2 and get it, you still have a 50% chance to win, but you have another path to victory, a clear path to victory in regulation.
okay.
But I don't know where the chance of failure
Well, I think they break
is
it down.
factored into that.
I mean, what would you do? Would you kick it or would you go for 2?
Kick it.
I'd go for 2. It makes sense to me. Everybody's kind of freaking out over it, and hindsight's always 20/20 though. You can't. I'm not saying you like Twitter can't be like, oh, I'd kick it because they didn't get it.
I said it as I was watching the game.
I would. The logic behind it is, at least from what I gathered, but I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. You're 2 yards out. You should be able to convert a 2-yard play. If you have 2 opportunities, you should be able to get it at least once. I think they said they convert. The 2-point conversion is converted throughout the NFL 55% of the time. That's what I saw at
so
least.
why doesn't everyone go for 2 every time?
A lot of people do. Remember, Mike Tomlin was fucking doing it every time for a while.
Because that would make sense analytically.
And I think they said, yeah, but they said it's like a 97% chance that you're going to make the extra point. Then when you do that twice, somebody went deep into the analytics of it. Like you take a chance on the extra point 2 times at 97%, blah, blah, blah. The point is, are you trying to, you're still at the mercy of the coin toss in the NFL, or in overtime, which in the playoffs now with the new rule, I think both would get an opportunity. But so you go for 2. If you don't get it, you can it's still a 1-possession game with another 2-point conversion. So you would expect that you have your 2-point play call, that you're going to get it. And if you don't, then you'll get it the next one. Hopefully. Obviously, that's the question. But I would feel good about your chances of getting it on 2 tries, especially if you're the Chiefs. Odds are you feel like you're going to get it, right? So if you give Mahomes 2 tries to convert the 2-point conversion, would you say, I would feel like it's more than a 55% chance that he's going to get it. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So it's just you, which is a little different in the postseason. If both sides are going to get an opportunity to possess the ball from that Chiefs and Bills game from a while back, the rule change. But if you take that out of the equation, then you're at the mercy of the coin toss. So you got to make the kicks. You got to score the touchdowns, but you got to make the kicks, and then you got to win the coin toss to give yourself no chance of to give yourself a chance to win, basically. I mean, I don't know. It makes sense to me. I thought that they were going to do it before they even scored. That's why I said, depending on how they view analytics, maybe they'll go for 2. I wasn't shocked whenever they did line up to do it. I don't know. I think you. I mean, it's exactly that. If it's a 55% chance to get it, then you can give yourself a chance to, okay, now the extra points for the win if we score on the way back. So you would lean towards kick it?
I don't know.
How do you not know? Like, how do you have no opinion on it? What would you do if you're the head coach?
I would probably kick.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if you have Mahomes at quarterback? That's crazy.
No, not, well.
Like, Tomlin ain't going for 2 anymore because he's got fucking Mason Rudolph. So he's kicking it. But if you have a guy back there, you got to feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Especially for like Andy Reid, who dials up all those underneath fucking pitches and reverses, and you got to feel pretty good about being able to go into your bag of tricks and convert it. And you only got to do it once. So I don't know. I lean towards do it. Like, especially in the playoffs. If you should be able to convert from 2 yards out. You should. Especially if you're one of the top offenses or the best quarterback in football. I think the circumstances are there. Granted, Baker Mayfield is not that. I understand. So you could take that argument and twist it around. But honestly, it was kind of there too. If Mike Evans would have like worked back, they at least probably get the penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I would lean towards. It's just, do you want to be safe or do you want to be a little more aggressive? But that's not like anything new though. They've been doing that all year.
Yeah.
A lot of, like, the majority of teams have been doing that. It's definitely it's a lot of the younger OCs that are calling plays that are doing it than if it were like, I don't know, whoever, some older fucking guy calling plays. But I don't know. Makes sense to me. So and then the final game. Okay, so wait, I'm sorry. We were both on the over 48.5. We needed that final touchdown. Thank you, Mike Evans. It was a pretty good ball too, but it was a great catch. And then we were on Bucks plus 6.5. If they get that 2-point conversion, then it would have been a really good week. It would have been a 4-1 for you. It would have been 3-2 for me, and then you would have been 4-1 as well. Or what'd you go? You went 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh no, you weren't on the Lions. You were just on the
I
over.
wasn't
Okay.
on the Bucks.
All right, and then the final game of the night, the Chiefs and the Bills. So we were on opposite sides. It was everybody's lock. I don't know. I'll start with this. The Bills shouldn't have had a chance due to their own doing. That fake punt
Yeah, that
was fucking horrific. I almost like got sick. I'm not even kidding. Because I had I don't know. I had double on this game than the other games because it was my lock. But why are we doing a fake punt to DeMar Hamlin? Why?
That would have solidified.
Also, too,
that comeback player of the year. They're trying to solidify
yeah.
that shit.
Also, too, why are we putting him in motion 4 times? He went one side, the other side, this side. Like, why don't you just say it's coming to me? Right when he did it, I was like, what are they doing? I was like, don't fucking tell me that they're about to. Dude, he didn't even get close. I would rather you just line up and go for it. And again, hindsight's 20/20. You catch them off. Apparently, they only had 10 guys on the field or something. I don't know how that's possible. That was the dumbest play call ever. That made me really genuinely question McDermott and if he's capable of these moments. And then you get a prayer. When it happened live, I was like, no fucking way. McCole Hardman, I don't even know what it was, a pass, an end around, I don't fucking know. But he's running to the left side, stretches, reaches out for the end zone, and the ball gets knocked out by Poyer, and it's like a millisecond away from him being down. Ball goes out the back of the end zone, and the Bills get an absolute prayer answered. And when that happened, that's when I was like, okay, maybe. Like, maybe it's just that you typically, if you're a good team and you're getting those type of bounces too, like, good things will happen. I don't know. What were your takeaways, I guess? What were your main takeaways?
Yeah, I thought it was a close game. I mean, you had the other fumble too that was nearly recovered by the Chiefs.
Yeah, another prayer answered.
Yeah.
No, yeah, when that happened too, that's what I was like, it's gotta be.
Yeah.
You gotta capitalize. I was like, you don't get this many prayers answered and not take advantage. You have to. There was a point in time where they were just running it down their throat.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a point in time in that first half where I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't feeling good because I was like, they can't stop them. They're running it straight up the interior. They're bully balling their way down the field, but then they stalled out in the red zone. So, or it was that one drive. They marched all the way down, and then Allen threw the little comeback to Shakir in the corner. Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was like a great throw, great catch. And that just felt like that was a pretty sustainable way to not necessarily the throw, but to get down the field and get into field goal range because they could not stop them in the beginning. And then the Bills just kind of went away from it. I guess maybe they started loading the box more, but it felt like they just went away from it and just started passing altogether. And then they tried to go back to it and had no success running. So credit to the Chiefs for adjusting, but the problem was too that the Bills couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
Specifically, dude, Clyde Edwards-Helaire was like jump starting multiple drives, like 20-plus yard runs. I felt like, I don't know. It like I said, I felt like the Bills had every possible bounce pretty much. I do think it was hilarious because that fucking defensive pass interference was horseshit. That's why I texted in the group chat all the laughing faces because they're literally like, the ball's got to be out of his hand for it to be pass interference.
Yeah.
And then they show the back view. The ball is not out of his hand at all. And even Romo, who sucks Mahomes off every chance he gets, was like, I don't know, Jim. Yeah, basically he's like, it's clearly still in his hand. And they talked about it for a minute too. So there's every game. There's some fucking horse shit. But it didn't matter because they ended up stopping him again, and they got the ball back. What?
Dude, that throw was insane.
Mm.
Oh my goodness.
The one Diggs dropped?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that part of me enjoyed that, though, after what he did to us.
Yeah, I mean, Diggs he talks a lot.
He's overrated.
Yeah.
No, he's overrated. I mean, if Gabe Davis could have played, that would have been a big help. But the Bills have more weapons than the Chiefs. So I guess here's where I'm at. Has Josh Allen peaked?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too.
As far as what? Like that's how far he's gonna get, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
As long as Mahomes is in the league.
this was the best opportunity. Yeah, but I mean it's like Burrow beats Mahomes the majority of the time he sees him. Burrow beat him to go to the Super Bowl. It took some funny business the time before that too. Last year.
Yeah.
I was on the I was on the Bengals. It took some funny business for the Chiefs to win that game. Late hit, but the stuff before that too. There was a chance when he converted. I think he converted the first down at T. Higgins. I was like, oh my goodness, dude, they might go again. Like the Bengals might go back to the Super Bowl. And that year, Joe Burrow went on the road into Orchard Park and beat Josh Allen. You've had the ability to play at home with your fans. At what point do you win a fucking football game? I think Josh Allen is who he is, and that's going to be second fiddle to a number of different quarterbacks in the AFC. I think he plays great, but when it's time to win the game, he's like Dak Prescott. When it's time to win the game, he doesn't win the game. Whether that be, I understand the time before when Mahomes went down in 13 seconds and they won the game, and Josh Allen played great. He actually plays really well the majority of the time he plays the Chiefs, but nobody cares if you lose. You have to win the game. I felt like that was Josh Allen's best chance. That was his best chance. You're getting the Chiefs on what appeared to be a down year. No real weapons. It's literally just Mahomes. Would you agree that the Bills have better offensive weapons outside of the quarterback position?
Yeah.
I mean, when you got Knox and Kincaid, you've got obviously Diggs. Gabe Davis is hurt, but Shakir looks really good in the postseason. You've got, call it even at running back if you want. At some point, it's like you gotta win, or else. What are you? You're Phillip Rivers. Mm-hmm. He's Phillip Rivers. Same number too. I don't see. Like, what did the Bills do? They just load it back up and try again.
Yeah.
And then you got to go through the Ravens, the Bengals, the Chiefs. If God forbid the Chargers figure it out, the Dolphins in their division, the AFC's loaded.
Yeah.
And it's like the Bills had to go on a Cinderella story run just to get here. So like they look like shit at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
So you think this is the best? Like, okay, does Josh Allen ever win a Super Bowl if you had to bet on it?
I think it's pretty hard for him to win.
If you had to bet on it, yes or no?
I would say no.
I would say no as well. You have to, as soon as it happened, me and Lindsay were watching. As soon as he calls Hut, I said, hit Diggs underneath, hit Diggs underneath, hit Diggs underneath. Said it fucking 20 times. I saw it wide open. And he wants to fucking try to hit Shakir for the touchdown. Just take the underneath. I don't understand, because they could have still tied it. You'd have been much closer. Who knows what Diggs does when he gets the ball? He definitely gets the first down. And then who knows? Maybe make somebody miss.
Yeah, and on top of that, they would have been able to milk the clock.
Yes.
So in the event that they didn't score a touchdown, you would have been leaving Mahomes with far less time.
Yes.
As like even if they did make the field goal at the end, there was still way too much.
No, that's what everybody was.
time.
Everybody knew. Like, okay, great. If y'all score, whatever. We've seen this. It's the same old song and dance. You left him 13 seconds, and he fucking went down and got in field goal range. I just don't understand. One, the kick had no chance. Fucking terrible kick.
Yeah.
Terrible kick. I just don't understand. You're just trying to do too much at that point. And he played well. This is not a knock on the game as a whole that Josh Allen played. He played well enough to put his team in a position late down the stretch. But then it's like, okay, now it's time to not try to do too much. Just get the ball to your fucking playmakers. The first throw had a chance. Shakir was there, but he underthrew it because he was under duress, whatever you want to call it. Second throw, no chance. Nobody was even there. It was a stupid play. I'd rather you tuck and run at that point and make it a little bit closer of a field goal. So he would have missed it by fucking 17 yards instead of 20. I think Josh Allen is who he is. He's going to be second fiddle, maybe third, even fourth fiddle with the other quarterbacks in the AFC. I don't think he's that good. I think he's... Or I gotta preface or catch myself, I guess. I do think he's good. I just don't think he's elite. I don't think he's a winner. He's not good enough. Whether it be circumstance, whether it be competition, I don't know. He's not good enough to go win you the game. We've seen it multiple times. So I was also frustrated because, I mean, the kick had no chance. It's like, what would you rather? Would you rather that kick or would you rather a doink? Or it's like a miss is a miss. But right off the foot, I was like, it just sucks. But it's like, what would you rather? Would you rather? I mean, it's same thing. Either one's a bad outcome. But would you rather the kick go in and you at least have a chance to stop Mahomes and he goes and scores, or just miss the kick and like, all right, fuck it, let's get out of here.
I don't know. Because I think they were screwed either way at that point.
Yeah, I just, I don't know. That's why I go back and forth because it's like they shouldn't have been in the position to even either tie or take the lead down the stretch. They really shouldn't have with the fumble out the back of the end zone after that horrific fucking fake punt. The fumble, I couldn't believe he fumbled right there. It's like that shows you all you need to know. Just trying to do too much. Trying to run when you don't have to run, and then you fumble in all spots. He's so lucky that didn't. Now that the blame can go on Bass. If he fumbles that and the dude recovers it, which he should have just fell on the ball, then you don't even get a chance. Game over. You fumbled the game away. And everybody's talking about Josh Allen trying to do too much. So, I don't know. But Chiefs are 2-point underdogs. They win the game by 3. So I go 2-3. Brings me to 53-52. 53 and 52. 9 and 11 in my locks of the week. You go 3-2. Brings you to 45, 31 and 1. 13 and 7 in your locks of the week. That is 60%.
What?
What do you mean?
Yeah, it's probably kind of close.
It's probably, yeah. Maybe just under. And then
Yeah,
Joseph.
it's over 60.
Over?
Yeah.
You sure about that?
No.
Calculate. I don't think it's over. I don't know. It could be.
45 and 30 would be 60. So I'm like 58% probably.
Yeah, in between probably. All right, and you went 3-1.
Mm-hmm. Brings me to 38 and 47, and then 7 and 13 in my locks.
Saved your best NFL week for last, huh?
Yeah, I was hoping I'd go 4-0, but the Niners the rain, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're hoping you would go 4-0. I was
might
hoping
just,
the Buccaneers would have covered.
I might just have a bunch of plays and try to get back to 500.
Oh yeah.
9 plays in 2 games.
Yeah. All right, we look ahead. The conference championship weekend. Time to find out who's going to the Super Bowl. We started off with the Chiefs and the Ravens. I think it's obvious who I want to win.
I wish this was a second one.
Yeah.
I wish this was the later one.
It should be, definitely.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But it's because it's on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
I
Forgot about that.
Baltimore, 3.5-point favorites. The total sits at 44.5. There was a 3 that got bought up in an instant. There was a 3 for a very short amount of time. People pounced on it, and it immediately got bet up to 3.5. Which way are you going?
Yeah, this was doing what the line last week did.
Real quick, we're making one of these picks our locks, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Where it was like minus 120 on one side, even money on the other side, but it kind of settled in a little bit. I think you can get minus 110 either way you want. Yeah, you have 2 top 6 defenses against the pass. Against the run, both of the defenses are kind of middle of the pack. Both offenses, I think, are going to be able to run here, especially Baltimore. But then the scoring defenses, the first and second ranked scoring defenses in the league, you got to expect points to be kind of hard to come by in this one, maybe. I just think the style of the game, maybe 3.5 is too much. I don't know if the Chiefs win, but I think the most likely path to victory is Baltimore winning by a field goal here. So I'm gonna take the Chiefs plus the points.
So you want the Chiefs to win? I'm not on a side. I'm on the total. I mean, we can talk about it, but for obvious reasons, like I want the Ravens to win by 100. By 100. Maybe not that much, but I mean, where do you feel like the edge is, if there is one? Who has the edge and what cat in which? I mean, I know you said you think both teams are going to be able to run. Who do you think if you had to pick a team?
I think Baltimore for sure is going to be able to establish the run. The question's going to be is what happens if they have to pass against the Chiefs, and then if they have to pass a score in the red zone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's where it's going to get dicey because both red zone defenses are fucking great. And you saw that with, I mean, the pass from Josh Allen to Shakir was a fucking improv and a great throw, great catch, like very little room for error on a play like that. That's not sustainable. I think, if I had to pick a team that's going to have more success running the ball, I think it's the Ravens. I think they have, obviously, the Dalvin Cook could play a pretty big role. Not play a big role like he's going to have a great game, but it's just added depth. It's another workhorse running back that you can throw in there to move the chains or whatever. But you have him. You've got Gus Edwards, who he was banged up, right? I think they said Gus Edwards was banged up. But anyway, him, Gus Edwards. You've got Hill, who's kind of a change of pace. I really wish Keaton Mitchell would have never got hurt, but Dalvin Cook probably wouldn't be on the team if he was still healthy. The questions are, is Mark Andrews coming back? I would imagine he is. He was a full participant all last week. I'm sure it was one of those, like, they were a pretty heavy favorite in the game. They probably felt good about their chances, obviously. So it's hold them out, give them an extra week to kind of recover. And then this is obviously the most important game of the season. One of the big things is Willie Gay. Is he coming back? I can't see anything. It just says he's questionable. He's the one. He hurt his neck, I think. Mm-hmm. That ain't good. That's big because he was the spy for Josh Allen. That's what they were saying on the broadcast. Like, which one? Willie Gay's really good, as is, but they were saying that was their game plan. He was going to spy Josh Allen. Josh Allen had some success running the football.
Yeah.
He's probably going to be the spy for Lamar Jackson if he's in the game. Another one is Edwards. He got hurt too with also a head injury. I don't know if he'll be back. If it's just a concussion, I'm sure he'll go. I think the Bills, when they did stop the run, it was very difficult for Mahomes to pass. I felt like late in that second half, I think they forced like back-to-back 3-and-outs and maybe even another one where there was when they started getting some momentum. Von Miller hawked Mahomes down on one. There was another one at the top of the screen where he had just had nowhere to go, and he's running and he's making things happen because he's Mahomes, but literally nobody was there. It was coverage sacks, or whatever. He scrambled for a gain of 1 or 2. I think that we could see some of that if you can stop Pacheco. I'm not really worried about Clyde. I think that the Ravens have a better run defense than the Bills. I think the Bills' defense is banged up, and I didn't put enough stock into it when taking the game. It was more of a home field advantage, and I mean, Josh Allen, it's like, Jesus Christ, you got to win one of these days. I think Jadeveon Clowney's played really well for the Ravens. I think his ability to set the edge is very important. But the linebacker duo of Patrick Queen and Roquan Smith stop the run, and then Marlon Humphrey should be back. You've got obviously, so it's like who's gonna match up with Kelsey? Is Marcus Williams gonna match up with Kelsey? I understand he's free safety, not the strong safety. So I think they just have a lot of different options of things that they can do. If I had to lean the spread, I would lean Baltimore. I'm going to just take a side, but I do think that like Mahomes is going to have a heroic game, which he's clearly capable of doing, and he does time and time again. But I think that Baltimore can do a better job of taking away the few weapons that they do have. Didn't Rashee Rice get banged up too?
I'm not sure.
I think he did. I think he might have came back in, but do you know, Joseph?
No.
I know they can't use Hardman. Hardman's in it. I would cut Hardman.
Yeah, dude, that was bad.
He fumbled twice.
Yes. Yeah.
I couldn't believe when he was running with the ball. I was like, God damn, why'd they give it to Hardman?
So apparently he had a hamstring injury coming in. He did go out in the game, but he came back.
Yeah, he was in there at the end.
Okay. All right. What side would you lean?
Me?
Yeah.
That's my lot.
Okay. All righty.
Y'all aren't on a total?
I'm on a total. The total's my lock.
Oh, okay.
What side would you lean total?
What is it right now?
44.5.
I don't know. That's why I said maybe. You think points would be hard to come by? Because I'm kind of, I don't know. If it came down a little bit, I would lean over.
Yeah, I do. Lamar still has to answer questions too. That's another thing to consider. He threw a ball that was not a good ball down in the red zone against Houston. That probably should have been intercepted by Petrie. And then they turned right back around. I think he threw it was the one to Likely, and Likely said throw it over the top, and Lamar's going to have to answer some questions. I think if you get Mark Andrews back, it's a huge. There's just more guys on Baltimore. There's more guys. It literally, in my opinion, it comes down to Mahomes and Lamar Jackson. Can Lamar Jackson prove that he can? You already know that Mahomes is not going to go out and lose you the game. You got to beat him. He's not going to come out and fuck up and throw 3 interceptions and give the game away. So I think that they have the defensive ability to scheme against him. Like I'm not hedging the bet. So I think that doesn't mean I'm not worried because they could definitely lose this game, obviously. But if I was really if I felt super confident about the Chiefs, I would hedge the bet. But it's not even, it's not even a guarantee, so.
Yeah, it's like this high, 44.5. I wouldn't play it, but like if it got to 43.5, I would lean over. But I could definitely see it where like both of the teams struggle in the red zone, and then it's kind of coming down to the 2 good kickers, you know?
Yeah.
Like if they have to settle for field goals rather than touchdowns.
Yeah.
On extended drives, and but it's like 24-21, that's 45.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, okay. I'll just say it. My lock's the under. I'm on the under, 44.5. I lean towards, clearly, the Ravens having a more obvious path to success. And if that's going to be the case, I think that they're more capable of what we saw Buffalo doing with grinding them out on those drives. That's what Baltimore wants to do. They want to grind you out, and you can throw in a couple fucking Lamar quarterback option, or read option, whatever. But I think that they'll be a little more capable of sustaining those drives on the ground and not necessarily going away from it, because that's more of their style of play, is the smash mouth football. And I think Lamar's been kind of hesitant to run. Like in the early years of his career, he fucking took off every time. There's times where I'm like yelling at him to fucking go. I don't know. I mean, 44. I don't know. Yeah, I'm on the under 44.5. I think. I don't know. I just want the Ravens to win. I just want the Ravens to win so bad. I really do, because they would be really nice to at least have a hedge opportunity. Okay, let's play a hypothetical. Ravens and Niners in the Super Bowl. What would you set the line? That's a tough one.
2 points in favor of the Niners.
Really?
If everyone's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Dude, I don't know. I could see it like, when's the last time there's been a pick'em in the Super Bowl?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a tough question to ask.
Well,
But,
they played not that long ago.
and the Ravens beat the dog shit out of them.
Where was that played?
Was it in San Fran? Let me see. I'll tell you. It was in San Fran. 33-19. Purdy threw 4 interceptions.
And what was the spread that game?
6.5 points in favor of the Niners.
Yeah.
So by that logic, it would be
It would have been like a 3.5
Yeah.
point spread on neutral. I mean, they beat them. So I think a lot of people think the Ravens are better than everyone else thought.
Yeah.
So probably a little less, maybe 1-2 point game.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just say what you're taking, Joseph.
I'm gonna take the Ravens.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much what you talked about. I really like the linebacking core with Queen and Roquan Smith. They get Marlon Humphrey back probably. And like you said, I mean, look, I know Mahomes can make plays the whole entire game. We understand that, but I think at home that defense they really impressed me. I know the Chiefs are probably gonna be more disciplined than the Texans were offensively, but I think when it comes down to it, you're gonna have those stops that Baltimore makes rather than what I see Kansas City making down the stretch.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to come down the turnover battle and red zone execution, which the majority of games do, I understand. But if Lamar doesn't throw a pick in this game, they should be fine. I do think that they're going to have more success on the ground. I think that they can do, I mean, similar to what Buffalo did. Buffalo just, I don't know. The Chiefs, I guess, they must have just started loading the box. I didn't pay as close enough attention as maybe I should have, but I did feel like Buffalo went away from the run. So maybe that was because of adjustments from the Chiefs, but there were still opportunities for Buffalo. Like, obviously, the Diggs catch.
Yeah.
Like, that should have been caught. He did underthrow it a little bit. I understand it's a fucking 70-yard pass. But Diggs did have to slow down and allowed the DB to come close the gap just a little bit. But regardless, it still should have been caught.
I feel like the Chiefs are definitely going to have to establish the run this game.
The Chiefs had a lot of explosive plays against Buffalo, too.
Yeah.
But, like, you look at the time of possession, Buffalo dominated time of possession. It's like if the Ravens can do something similar to that and limit the Chiefs' possessions.
Which I think they'll be able to. I think that they'll be more likely. They're more capable of doing that than Buffalo is, in my opinion. Just when you add in Lamar's ability to use his legs. But the three-headed monster of backs, Hill looked good. Mm-hmm. He looked good. A decent change of pace.
What's an explosive play, 20 or 25?
20.
Yeah.
They had
Dude, I'd say a good amount of them came on runs. Pacheco had like 2 of them.
I know Clyde had 1 or 2.
Well, I thought the Chiefs should have ran it more, but
yeah,
they definitely should.
They averaged 6.1 yards per carry, only ran it 24 times.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into my picking Baltimore as well. As I was impressed with their run defense last week. I think Singletary had 8 carries for 6 yards through 3 quarters. Like, they didn't even let them get a glimpse of hope in the run game.
Yeah, I felt like Singletary kind of was overachieving a little bit. I don't think he's that spectacular, but he had been playing solid.
Been playing well.
who do the Bills even have at fucking linebacker? Because Milano's been out. Klein ended up getting hurt for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, but he was rotating in. But then somebody, whoever had the headset, whoever had the speaker in his ear got hurt. And they had to switch. But basically, it's a lot of no names, people that we can't fucking think of who the names are. They had the rookie from Tulane out there. You're getting a substantial step up in class at linebacker position. I think Jadeveon Clowney could play a big role. I think his ability to set the edge. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not taking a side because I want the Ravens. So I don't want that to cloud my judgment, even though it could be. 3, I mean, you're getting that.
The hook, too.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing, yeah. If it was 3 points, I would probably take the Ravens. And there was a 3. That shit got bought up quick. So do you think come kickoff, you think this goes back to 3?
I don't know. Earlier this week, I thought it might go to 3, but
it definitely opened
by
at
now.
3. Yeah.
I don't know.
It opened at 3. I checked right after the game.
I mean, it's like if you look at just Valdez-Scantling was making plays downfield. That better not happen. That better not happen in this game. I thought it was a not great performance from Buffalo's defense. There were plenty of times where I was like, Jesus Christ, can we stop him at all?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. All right, I'm on the under 44.5 as my lock of the week. Joseph's on the Ravens -3.5, and you're taking the Chiefs +3.5.
Yep.
And you would lean over.
If the number came down a little.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I feel like also too, it's like they're gonna kick field goals in this one. If it's got to be like 4th and 1, 4th and inches, or else they're gonna take the points because the kickers are so good. But all right, we go ahead to the NFC Championship. And who would have thought the Detroit Lions? I can still remember Detroit going 0-16. And now they're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. Lions and Niners. Niners are 7-point favorites on their home field. The total sits at 50.5, give or take. Who feels good? Anybody?
I guess it's my lock.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll let you go first then. Go ahead.
I'm gonna lay the points. The Niners.
Okay.
I think that offensively, both of these teams are kind of evenly matched, but defensively, the 49ers are much better. Although the Lions can stop the run, the 49ers can stop the run, but the 49ers are much better preventing points. And I just think that if the Lions do struggle to run a little bit, I think I'm not trusting Goff to get it done, you know?
Yeah, me neither. I'm laying the points with the Niners as well. I'd be lying if I said it doesn't put a little uncertainty in my heart after seeing Brock Purdy, because we watched Brock Purdy well before 99% of the population knew who Brock Purdy was. Brock Purdy used to be at Iowa State with Breece Hall and Matt Campbell as coach, and they consistently did not live up to expectations. Goddamn, Justin took Brock Purdy to win the Heisman Trophy. Justin was ahead of the fucking curve, dude.
Dude's a genius.
Justin saw this shit from a mile away. That kid knows NFL talent. I mean, he had one of the best NFL seasons handicapping games that you'll ever find. He took Brock Purdy to win the Heisman Trophy. I don't know if they even made a bowl game that year. And here you go. Brock Purdy was in the MVP conversation in the NFL, and they're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. So got to give credit where credit's due. But he looked like dog shit. Let's be honest. He looked like fucking shit. I do think the Packers defense is not, I think it's better than advertised. I really do. But
Debo's playing, right?
he's 50-50. So that worries me too.
Yeah, if he was playing, I'd feel a lot better.
I think he'll go. They said he avoided fracture in his shoulder. I mean, it's a fucking NFC Championship game. I think he'll go in some capacity. Minimum, he's a decoy, but obviously we'd like him to go. Ayuk's going to have a good game. Really, it's just Purdy, dude. Don't do too much. Don't do too much. There were a couple, he threw it straight to him where it's like, what the fuck was that, dude? But McCaffrey's so good. McCaffrey's fucking incredible. That was the ultimate fleecing, like in NFL history. The Panthers were just like, here, take best running back in football.
Yeah.
Give us a couple fucking third-round picks. Yeah, I'm going to lay the points with the Niners. I think they know they dodged a bullet. I think it'll put a little more intensity on the defense to go like, okay, maybe it's got to be on us more than it's got to be on Purdy.
Yeah, they let the Packers have too much success running it.
Yes.
They're a better run defense than that, so I think that's kind of the point of emphasis here.
What's the deal with Montgomery? Is he hurt?
I'm not sure.
Did I make that up?
What's the weather?
I don't see. Yeah, no, that's why I literally wrote down, please, for the love of God, don't let it rain. Let's see. When was this? I don't know. It says he sustained injury on a 19th. That could have been earlier in the year. Who the fuck knows? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's not hurt. Yeah, maybe he's not hurt. I could have definitely made that up. Yeah, I don't think. Okay. Regardless, they have the number one defense against the passing and the rush, correct?
Niners.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think. I could be wrong. Doesn't matter.
No, they have the second ranked something run defense.
I guess it goes by whatever metric. I was
Third-
looking at like
third ranked run defense.
I was looking at yards allowed. What is that going by?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Well, I was on NFL.com, so they're wrong.
They have the fourth ranked defense in terms of passing yards and the third ranked defense and rushing yards. Or
Okay.
no, that's their offense. 14th ranked passing yards, third ranked defense in terms of rushing. The Lions have the second ranked rushing defense,
Yeah,
but they're terrible against the pass, 27th.
and that's where. Yeah, okay. McCaffrey's they're going to throw it to McCaffrey a ton. You've got Kittle, who looked good. That one ball to Kittle was a dime from Purdy.
Yeah.
So Ayuk's got to have a good game. I just think they're going to have the ability to stop Detroit more than the opposite. So defense wins championships. How are you not going to go with the Niners? I think that this is like the whatever you want to call it, the story arc of the Lions. They're not going to the Super Bowl this year. They're on the doorstep. They've overachieved a little bit. I don't think Jared Goff's that good. So I don't think he's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
Yeah.
So I mean, he got to one. And they score fucking 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
Jared Goff had a stretch, let's not forget, of like 3 or 4 straight games with over 3 turnovers.
Down the stretch where they started losing all those games.
Yeah, Chicago,
kind of mid-season.
I think they lost to him twice, if not.
Yeah.
The second one was close too. He turned the ball over a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you can pressure him, which...
And against this defense, it's like there's no better opportunity to get some turnovers.
Yeah. I mean, they got Armstead back in the middle. You got Bosa. You got who's coming off the other edge? A good guy.
Chase Young.
Who is a little fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to lay the points with the Niners. Sounds like we all are. It's your lock of the week.
Yep.
What side would you lean in terms of total? Do you have one?
No, not really.
It's so hard. 50.5, 51, give or take.
Probably under.
I would lean under.
It's a lot of points. It's... Yeah. I don't know how... I mean, you're banking on the Lions to have success if you're taking over. So I feel like if you lean Niners, you got to lean under. But... I don't know. We'll see. All right. I'll just leave it at that. I kind of want to take the under. But, all right. I mean, that's really all I got. You got anything else?
Nope.
All right. To recap, I am going to take the under 44.5 as my lock of the week in the Chiefs and Ravens. I'm going to take the Niners -7. Who knows? Maybe we add something here or there. But we got to find out who goes to the Super Bowl. So you are taking...
I'm taking the Chiefs +3.5, and I'm taking the 49ers -7 for my lock.
I'm taking the Ravens -3.5 for my lock, and I'm also taking the 49ers -7.
Alrighty, there you go. That is our best bets of the week for conference championship weekend. It is time we find out who goes to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the most sought-after game of the week is going to be Chiefs and Ravens. Everybody, we don't have any well, no, you're on Baltimore. I was going to say Baltimore can win by 3 and we'll all be happy, but we can't. Y'all can figure that out. I just want Baltimore to win. I really, really, really want Baltimore to win. Let me make that crystal clear. I once sat on this very podcast and said Lamar Jackson will never win anything because he can't move the ball down the field. And then come postseason play, it's going to come back to bite him. People called me crazy. They got blown out by the Titans that year.
Not bad for a running back.
And now here I am, wearing a Lamar Jackson jersey, hoping for the best. So episode 181 is in the books. Do you have anything to say before we go?
See you later.
Good luck.
All right, y'all be sure to hit subscribe. We appreciate everybody listening. We are going to, obviously, Super Bowl's 2 weeks away, so there more than likely won't be an episode next week, but then we'll be back ready to go for, 2 weeks. How do we do it typically? Would we record next week?
I think we wait
the following week. Okay. And then obviously the Super Bowl episode's always one of our biggest episodes of the season. We'll have a ton of props, the whole 9 yards. So, but until then, we see who makes it to the big dance. Y'all have a good one. Who dat?
The house always wins. Play long enough, you never change the stakes. The house takes you. Unless, when that perfect hand comes along, you bet big, and then you take the house. Been practicing this pitch a little bit. Did I rush it? Felt like I rushed.
That was good. I liked it.